Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, huge mahalo to Longstrugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longstrugs for all your shopping needs. The contest to represent Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District became more crowded today. Freshman State Representative Patrick Branco announced his candidacy to replace U.S. Representative Kai Kahele to represent the district that covers the neighbor islands and rural Oahu. Branco is running on a platform that promises to lower Hawaii's cost of living, bring federal resources to the islands, and tackle climate change. Born and raised in Kailua, Branco joined the U.S. Foreign Service as a diplomat in 2012. He was elected to represent Kailua and Kaneohe in the State House in 2020. Interest in Kahele's congressional seat has grown since it was reported that he is planning to run for governor instead of seeking re-election. The first-term congressman recently attracted national media attention for his record of proxy voting and absenteeism from Washington, D.C. In addition to Branco, Council Chair Tommy Waters and former State Senator Jill Tokuda have filed to run for Kahele's seat in the August 13th Democratic primary. U.S. regulators have strictly limited Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine due to a rare but serious risk of blood clots. The Food and Drug Administration says the shot should only be given to adults who can't receive a different vaccine or specifically request the Johnson & Johnson dose. Officials decided on the restriction after examining data regarding the risk of developing life-threatening blood clots within 2 weeks of taking the Johnson & Johnson vaccination. Vaccines from Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson were previously treated similarly because they each demonstrated strong protection against coronavirus. But in December, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommended the prioritization of the Moderna and Pfizer shots because of safety issues. Follow-up studies have also found that the Johnson & Johnson shot is not as effective as other vaccines. President Joe Biden today signed the Better Cybercrime Metrics Act, a measure authored by U.S. Senator Brian Schatz to improve data collection and analysis of online crimes. Schatz said the bill will protect people in Hawaii from crimes like the cyber attacks that hit Honolulu's transit and water systems in December. He also said that collecting data about online crimes will help the government support victims and hunt down criminals. The Better Cybercrime Metrics Act requires the FBI to report data on cybercrime, while local and federal law enforcement agencies are encouraged to report these crimes to the FBI. The bill also authorizes a National Academies of Science study on cybercrime incidents and adds questions related to online crime to the annual National Crime Victimization Survey. The proposal passed the Senate in December and the House of Representatives in March. The FBI is asking the public for help in locating a California shooting suspect who was recently seen in the Honolulu area. 28-year-old Bay Area man Uatesoni Joseph Paasi is wanted in connection with the fatal shooting of an unarmed man in San Jose. The victim was 33-year-old Marco A. Santos. According to the FBI, Santos was shot during an argument on June 4th while standing next to his wife and child. Paasi and Santos lived in the same area but had no known history. The FBI says Paasi is related to and associated with people who were arrested in Honolulu for a separate homicide in the Bay Area. He was spotted on Oahu as recently as April. Paasi is of Tongan descent, stands 6 feet, 1 inch tall, and weighs 240 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information about his location is urged to call the Honolulu FBI at 808-566-4300. Hawaii's COVID-19 case count is forecast to rise steadily as summer approaches, but the increase in infections is not anticipated to seriously impact hospitals. The Hawaii Pandemic Applied Modeling Work Group expects coronavirus case numbers to rise in all major counties through the middle of May. By that time, daily cases on Oahu could reach as high as 3,600 in a worst-case scenario and up to 640 in a best-case scenario. On Wednesday, the State Department of Health reported 10 coronavirus-related deaths and 4,249 new COVID-19 infections over the previous week. HIPAM says there are likely several times more cases in Hawaii than reported by state health officials. A large number of people might be asymptomatic or experiencing mild symptoms, while others are taking home tests that are not counted by the health department. Hospitalizations are forecast to rise in mid-May alongside the uptick in COVID-19 cases, but not to very high levels. A best-case scenario would see only 18 hospitalizations, while just over 100 people would be hospitalized in a worst-case scenario. HIPAM estimates that 60% of Oahu's population was infected with the coronavirus as of mid-April. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.